for 2 cents. They are now, as you know, 44 cents, but the significant thing is that nobody sends mail anymore. And so Brenda's job with the post office depends primarily on third-class mail or the thing you see on TV. If it fits, it ships. So lots of things have changed in 80 years, and the world has changed, communication has changed. It's been a wonderful life, but if there is any one thing that I have learned in 80 years is that in spite of wars and things like the Kaylee Anthony trials and those kind of things that cause us to be concerned about our world, the most important thing is still family and friends. And for people who have traveled from Denver, Colorado, from Dallas, Texas, from Lawton, Oklahoma, from St. Louis, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, my goodness, I'm surely missing somebody, from all of those places to be here, as well as, those are relatives, as well as the friends made through the years who've taken their Sunday afternoon to be here and wish me happy birthday. All I can say is thank you. It does mean a very, very great deal, and it resonates in that it emphasizes what I think is still probably the most important thing about living, family and friends. Thank you. Story yet of this cake, where a certain gentleman with long braids and a long white dress. I need to explain that. The gentleman standing back there next to the man in red on his immediate left. Dr. Kidmeyer, would you raise your hand? Dr. Kidmeyer is responsible for this. At a veterinary student open house, Dr. Meyer got me to dress up in this, and he dressed up in something similar. We both put on big spots to give us cowpox.
No, you didn't. Huh? You didn't, because you were the milkmaid.
I was the milkmaid. I had cowpox.
I had cowpox because I was a trout.
And we were commemorating William Jenner's discovery of smallpox vaccine and milking goats and putting on a demonstration for the students. So, in no way a reflection of our character.
Just to read, this is from my grandmother and Uncle Bill's mother directly about his day of birth on June 22nd. And she writes, on the morning of June 22nd, I washed and canned some beets by noon. I knew the baby was coming. I apologized to the neighbors. It says in here I was the favorite, too. He told me he would come by July 4th. When Ernie came for lunch, he just tied the team up and we took Bob's crib down and went by Grandpa Cooper's and left Bob in his crib and his clothes there. And he went to the annex in Pawnee that was connected to the hospital, to the doctor. And he told Ernie that night as well to go home as nothing would happen before midnight. About 3:30, the nurse called the doctor to come over. And after he examined, he told her that he'd get too excited and left. But before he got through the hall, she went after him, and after 20 minutes, Billy Ernest Hooper arrived. When Ernie called by the folks, he told them that we had another boy, and my dad said, I don't believe it, and he wasn't showing enough to have it before November. But when he saw Bill, he realized why I hadn't shown more. I was feeling very good, so I didn't see him until Ernie came about 7 p.m. when the nurse brought him to us. And we could hardly believe how poor he was. He looked like a skeleton with skin over it. And his little hands were just like claws. He wasn't fat and he wasn't skinny like Billy. He had some other problems And she goes on to describe his nursing problems. He wouldn't drink regular milk, and they had to give goat's milk, and it turned out they actually called him a Rasma baby, which years later I learned Rasma meant that they did not know what was wrong with him. And so they took care of him and prayed a lot that they put him on some weird concoction formula. And they did a lot of rocking, and Ernie and I just couldn't believe this was happening to us. And after he was doing better, he was such a good baby, but we wouldn't lay him on his side or his stomach, so his head got a little flat on the back. So that I did. So with that news and discovery, I end my reading and the learned portion of Uncle Bill, who had, through all these years, has had a nipple addiction and a flat head. We're so thrilled that he lived through both. Happy birthday.
Let me just start this with, I'm only the messenger.
This is my niece, Peggy, from Denver, Colorado, my brother's daughter.
My father couldn't be here today, and he had a very special gift for my Uncle Bill. My father has always prided himself on being a very good big brother to you. Version of the story. And so he wanted to make sure that you were taken care of for the rest of your life. So this is for you, from him. I'll be the messenger. Oh God.
This is the only gift I'm opening in your presence today, and I wish dearly I did not have
it. You might need it to stab it.
When this arrived, Janice took it away from me and hid it. I have not shaken it, but given 81 years to think about this, I'm confident it's going to embarrass me. He wrapped it so tight to see if I still had the manual dexterity.
Now this is supposed to last you the rest of your life.
It's just one box inside another box.
There you go. He's used for one thing to
I have no idea what it is.
towel.
Oh, and that's for him to embroider. Because in the book, it said that Uncle Bill learned how to embroider tea towels.
That's his crying towel.
That's a tea
Well, he's retired. He had a lot of time to relax.
I will tell him you said so.
I have no idea where I'm going. Should I keep going?
For the rest of your life.
Something to do.
Well, you know, it wasn't.
lay it on the floor.
I'm sorry, I'm holding you.
She made me promise that I'd have no business in front of the whole
He's got a lot of that on.
I'm beginning to think Dr. Runnels will have some interest in this. With his background in swine medicine.
Not losing interest, rather rapidly.
Hey, I can see something coming up here. Patience. Oh my goodness. Oh. There is no way. This is a piggy bank. It is totally stuffed with money. And the story behind this is, last year my brother had his 80th birthday. Janice and I went to a dollar store and bought all of the junk we could find to make a party for him at our home. And the principal gift was this little piggy bank that cost 99 cents. It was given to him as he started his second childhood. And with it, we gave him about 50 or 60 cents worth of pennies and a couple of nickels. 80 pennies. Oh yeah, that's right. In order to start his savings as he grew up. And with that, we gave him a lot of junk to eat when he got bored and that sort of thing. But that was his piggy bank to start his second childhood. Apparently, over the last year, he has filled it with money and is now giving it to me to start my second childhood. And the crying, and the pals are crying. So I'm rich.